Hi everyone and welcome to Hearth and Rome. This is going to be the first in our Travel Tuesday series. My name is Ian and I am the other half of Hearth and Rome. So one of the things that we get a lot of questions about, because we like to find cheap ways to travel, and right now there's a lot of wanderlust, but can't really go too many places. But wanted to start sharing some of our best practices. We don't travel nearly as much as some people do. If you look at some of the travel vloggers and blog writers, they're traveling like literally all the time in business class and getting points and miles, traveling on this, opening up 1,000 credit cards. That's not necessarily how Lauren and I travel, and we find our deals. We do dabble in some of the best practices that some of these bloggers share, but not necessarily all of them are what we're doing all the time. It's not necessarily sustainable for a lot of us who do have a lot of other things going on in our lives, and travel is not necessarily the first thing that we're always wanting to do. But so many of us want to travel and travel often that there are some decent tips that we can share that hopefully will get you traveling more often, maybe not all the time like you might see on some of these, but more often. And that's what we want to share with you. And we want to share some best practices, especially now since we can't go anywhere, and ways that you can start looking for great airfare and just travel deals in general, and great places to travel. And that's what Travel Tuesday is kind of all about. And I'm sure it will evolve as we go through and film more episodes. But one of the first ones that we wanted to share with you today was how to get even better deals on Spirit, Frontier, and Allegiant. So many of you know, and I say Spirit, Frontier, and Allegiant, and many of you are just going to kind of like roll your eyes and be like, oh God, those are not the airlines you generally want to fly on for some people. But you can get some ridiculously great deals on Spirit, Frontier, and Allegiant. I mean, literally penny deals. And of course you have some taxes and fees on top of that, but literally the base airfare is $1 or less in some cases. So want to share how you can get some of those. And even if you're like, I don't see those penny deals online. Well, in many cases you probably do, but they're kind of hidden and you may not be able to buy them online. So that's what we're going to try to show you today. So you might be asking, how am I going to get these great deals if I can't find them online? Well, you kind of can. Let's take a look. So if we go to spirit.com, let's take a look and see what we can find just looking at that. So I'm just going to search for Orlando to Atlantic City, and we're going to look at October 7th to the 10th. I haven't looked at this yet, so let's see what comes up here. So if we search for flights, see what pops up. So we have got pretty good airfare, $51.39. So let's grab that. I think we could probably fly in. It's a terrible time, but some of the times are sometimes better than that. I really haven't had to fly at this specific time to get some great deals. Okay, 131, and then you can use the grid up here to kind of backtrack or find different dates. We could go out on Monday and get 81. So let's go ahead and click that. And that's at a decent time, 2:07 p.m. out of Atlantic City. So there we go. Round trip, we just found a flight deal for $132.48. But you can actually get a better deal than that. So we're just going to book it. We're not going to do any of their bundles. We're not going to do anything like that. So one of the things you do have to do, and we're not going to go through and purchase this ticket right now, but you do have to go in and kind of fill in the profile information. So even if it's dummy information, you're not going to hit click and book, because we just need to get some more information on this flight. So okay, so once we filled out that kind of basic information, It's going to take you through and ask, do you want to add on bags? You don't want to do any of this. You just want standard. 0, continue. No, I don't need bags. That's the trick. You're not going to fly with any bags. Well, not quite. You're going to have like a backpack or something like that. So you want to try to do this when you're not going to have to do bags. Of course, you can take bags and you can pay for them as well. But I'm going to try to get you the best base fare here so that you can add on bags and not have to keep having fee after fee after fee. The other key is you don't want to pick a seat either. You don't want to pick a seat, especially if you're not traveling as a family. Is it really that important to pick a seat, especially on a 2-hour flight? If you need to, of course, pick it. It's your money. You can go ahead and do how you want. But to get the cheapest price ever, you don't want to add on all these things. That's the big thing. When the Spirit CEO had a podcast with the Points Guy, he talked a lot about how we're giving you choices, and that's what these airlines are all about. They are about finding the best choices and finding the best ways to maximize your dollar spend on these airlines. So if you don't care about any of these things, if you don't care about picking your seat, if you don't care about, don't care about having to bring bags, you don't have to care about all these things, then you get a ridiculously low price. You can take advantage of that bear fare. And that's what we're trying to do here. So once you've gotten through all these screens of add-ons and everything else, this is the screen we want you to stop at. So we have your payment screen here, and this shows you actually the flight numbers. So NK304 and NK303. It tells you the dates, tells you the times. This is where we're going to stop. This is where we want to be able to figure out what we're going to save. And that's why we need to come to this screen. So you have to go under total due for Spirit. So we see 132.48. We see that we've got nothing for bags, nothing for seats, nothing for options. That's because we didn't want to add any of that stuff on. So then if you expand flight out here, you're going to see that there are a couple of fees in here that we need to take a look at. So we're going to look at all these. Taxes and carrier charges. Regulatory compliance charge, that's government fuel charge, that's for fuel security. Passenger usage fee. $22.99. That's what you can save. So on each leg of this flight, it is $22.99 that you can save. How can you save it? You have to go to the airport. Built up to that. But yes, for us, when I am actually working at the office, I'm like a 10-15 minute drive max from the airport. I run there at lunchtime. I book these flights, and then I've got my tickets. I got my tickets. I can link them to my spirit.com profile. Usually, sometimes I need to email in to have them do that for me. It doesn't always link perfectly, but I've never had a problem with it. But then I literally save $23 each leg. So let's bring this up. 132.48 minus 22.99 minus 22.99. You just got this flight down to $86.50. So you, not quite half, but you probably saved about a third on this flight, which is fantastic. So, and there's many flights that you can even get this further down. We've done some for 20 something each way. So it is great. So on Spirit, you're looking for the passenger usage fee. I'm going to show you on Frontier as well. I've never done it on Allegiant, and there's ways that you can do it on Allegiant. You literally have to go to the airport, though, on specific dates and times. They only let you do it an hour or two each week. So they make it very hard to do this trick. So I'm not really going to show it to you because for most of us, it's going to be impossible to take advantage of it. But Spirit and Frontier make it very easy for you to avoid these fees if you don't mind going to the airport. Okay, so now we're at the Frontier website. We're going to take a look at Orlando to Buffalo. Let's take a look at that. That should give us some decent dates from what I recall. We're going to do the 12th to the 16th to have a good little weekend in here. Okay, so here's our flights that we get to pick from. So Frontier makes it a little bit easier for you to see everything without having to go through the whole rigmarole. However, it's not easy to find. So we're going to pick our flights. So we're going to do that round trip there, and we're going to do this one right here. So now we have our 2 flights. So luckily on Frontier, you don't have to go all the way. Now, if you go into the shopping cart here, we have the flight information as well. So you can also kind of print out, screenshot, take whatever you need on this piece. But then if you go down to the bottom here, there's this little section that says taxes and carrier imposed fees. This is what we need. So if we open this up, there's a CIC. It's a carrier interface charge. That's what they call it on Frontier. And what this is $42 on this flight. So we're saving $42. It's a couple dollars less than on Spirit, but that a lot of times can also depend on the specific flight and route as well. So on this one, it's $157.20 minus 42. So it's $115.20. So a pretty good savings as well on this flight, going round trip to Buffalo, which is kind of not a main airport hub either. So that's a really good deal to go round trip into Buffalo from what I've really seen. And again, some of these rates are different, and we're in a unique time, so these rates aren't going to be what you're going to find all the time. But this is a good example of how you can save a few dollars. So you might be asking, how and why can you save money doing it this way, like going to the airport and booking these tickets versus going online? Wouldn't they want you to book the tickets online versus going to the airport? Well, yes, but most people book their tickets online. Most people are not going to go to the airport, even if they knew that this existed. Now, if you're booking for a couple people or a family, or you're just looking to save a few dollars, this is a great way to save a few dollars, especially if you're not that far from the airport. You also don't have to be the one to book these flights. So if you know somebody who lives closer to an airport who can get there for you, they can book these for you. I always book these for myself and my wife all the time. So I'll go to the airport at lunch, run out there, make the booking, get back, and be done. So, but in any case, what these airlines have found are that the base airfare, they have to pay taxes on that to the government. Basically, any of these additional fees, they don't have to pay taxes. So what they do is create these fees as opposed to putting everything into their base airfare. What that does is that fees, there have to generally be a way to get around these carrier type fees. So like baggage, you don't have to buy baggage. You can leave your baggage at home. That's the way to get around baggage. So there has to be a way to get around them. The way that you get around this fee is by going and booking your ticket at the airport. I've always had great experience booking at the airport. Sometimes you have to stand there and wait a little bit. They're not going to make it really super easy for you to book your tickets at the airport, but no one's ever given me sass. They're all generally very happy and pleasant. And as long as I bring a good printout with everything that I need, all the information, frequent flyer numbers, and if you are through pre-check or global entry, you bring your numbers for that. It's just as much information as you need. They all tend to book it a little differently. I feel like they associate the passengers a little differently depending upon who books it for you. So mileage sometimes will vary, and that's why I say sometimes you may have to go and send an email to the customer service team to associate the flight to your account so that you can make sure that you're receiving all of your points and that your pre-check is tagged and all of that properly. But I've never had a problem once I got to the airport and went to fly. So this is just such a great way to save a few dollars if you have the ability to get to the airport, that we want to share it with you. This is how we've booked a good majority of our flights for 2019 when we've gone to a number of places. So that's that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe down below for more tips and more great things from Hearth and Rome, as we're doing a lot more at home and stuff on the hearth side versus the roaming side. But we're so happy that you've tuned in. Please join us and please subscribe. Thanks so much. We'll see you real soon.